afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels, live from Green Bay, Wisconsin, across the street from Lambeau Field. That's right. It was day 5 of Green Bay Packers training camp today, but it was day 1 with the pads on, and that's why I am here. I love it when we get some actual real-style football, and that was somewhat on display earlier this morning at Ray Nitschke Field, although not in full pads yet, just the shoulder variety. But some hitting going on, some one-on-ones being taken, and really exciting stuff on both sides of the ball, percolating throughout the morning. So, of course, I hope you all have checked out my camp notes video from earlier this afternoon, where I basically run through most of what I saw, not every single thing. But I know some people had asked about the pre-practice chats that I had done in years previous. Not going to be doing those this year. The shelf life was short, and it seemed that everybody would kind of jump off of that video and they just come on to the later in the day chat. So we'll be doing one chat every day while I'm in Green Bay, but we'll also be doing, like I did this afternoon, a camp notes, so you know exactly what I saw, who was doing what. And that way, because we get here and people want to talk about practice, but they also want to talk about other things, anything and everything having to do with the green and gold. Because, when you're a Packers fan, it's about all of it. All of the life when it comes to the green and gold. So we're here for you, devoted to Packers fans worldwide. And folks, wherever you're coming from, in the country or the world, if you want to watch the Green Bay Packers this year in 2023 play a game of football, you want to utilize Ticket King. That's right. Head to cheeseheadtv.com, use our schedule either on our website or our app. We'll have individualized links for each and every game. Use Ticket King, people. Don't use Ticketmaster. Don't use StubHub. None of these national chains. Use a company based in Wisconsin since the early 90s. Ticket King. Do it, people. You can do it right here at Cheesehead TV. Hell, you can look at the link in the description of this video to get you there if you want. Ticket King, folks. That's what you want to utilize if you're a Green Bay Packers fan. The other thing you want to do is get ready for this season with the official 2023 Green Bay Packers Yearbook. Use promo code CHTV for 10% off at packersyearbook.com. That's promo code CHTV for 10% off at packersyearbook.com. Diehards want to get that. I know you do. Do it, people. Get it now. You get your order now. You get it before the season starts. That's the way to do it. And there's incredible content in that collection. I will say some of the best writing on the Green Bay Packers done by one Mr. Wes Hodkiewicz, who is, as we speak, right over my shoulder, right there in Lambeau Field. So do it, folks. Get yourself a Packers yearbook. I won't go on too long about practice today. I will say, like I said, hope you check out the video from earlier this afternoon. But it was great to see a little bit, some physicality, some hitting going on. Not too many big hits. Obviously, you're just trying to take care of each other, things of that nature. Matt always preaches that. But the one-on-ones were fascinating, especially when it came to some of the physicality you saw from the defensive front. I think Zach Tom held his own. Royce Newman got completely abused by Wooden, the rookie, and there was one rep where TJ Slayton absolutely, murdered Josh Myers. I don't know. It's a miracle to me that Myers is still walking among us. There's some powerful people there up front, including Lucas Van Ness, who had some really good battles with Zach Tom to start things off. But I think, I wrote, Zach Tom really held his own, did a great job of when Van Ness tried a spin move on him, making sure he reset his center so he would stay in front of the rookie pass rusher. Really good work there. And, as I say all the time, it's about the lines. You're only going to go as far as your fronts do in this game. You've got to win the trenches. So we'll see how that progresses here throughout camp, and hopefully we get a few more battles like that for iron to sharpen iron, as it were. Hello to everybody in the comments section. So good to see everybody. So good to see Dennis. What's up, Dennis? Good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. Abdul starting us off with a super chat. Hey, Aaron, what happened to supposed center competition? Hasn't materialized yet, but there's a long way to go. I see a lot of this, like people saying, well, nothing's, like this isn't happening. Like we thought this was going to happen. People, they literally just put half pads on today. Relax. It's going to be okay. Some guys will rise, some guys will fall, and some guys will be entrenched and will not be able to be dislodged for mysterious reasons. But There is a long way to go. So we'll see what happens along the way. Perhaps, like I said, I believe it was in my piece last night, questions that need answering on cheeseheadtv.com. Uh, if Josh Myers continues to display inconsistent play, you can bet there will start to be a competition. But right now, they're giving him every opportunity to solidify his role as the starting center, and you understand why. He's a high draft pick. He's got talent. He's got upside. You've seen him play well in spurts. They just need him to do it consistently. Patience, young Jedi. Todd, thanks for the super chat. Me and my family are going to family night. Will you be around or at the house? Would like to say hi. Todd, I will undoubtedly be milling about around here, Lambeau style, throughout the day. So just be on the lookout on the social accounts, and I'm sure Tyler and I will put something up to let people know where we can meet up prior to family night. I will have to be back here for our family night watch party earlier in the evening, but throughout the afternoon I'll be around. I'll be chilling. So hopefully I can say hi. John, thanks for the super chat. I wake up every day thankful the Packers are ran sanely, unlike the show here in Indy. J-Lo dropping dimes and free Big B. Go Pack Go. Yeah, the very quick kind of meltdown in relationship there between Jim Irsay and his star running back is a sight to behold. And everyone talks about, oh, the Packers don't have an owner. Well, this is what can happen when you have an owner. I do understand the misgivings about a lack of ownership in Green Bay. I do understand it. However, usually that's being, pontificated on by people who have no idea how the Packers are actually run. So, Mike Florio. So, yeah, I understand those criticisms from the outside, but to your point, they are run extremely well. And it's very rare that you see instances like everything we're seeing going on in Indy right now. Soder, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Are they, in fact, noticeably faster? I'm glad you asked me that. I was going to tweet that about that while I was literally standing next to John Kuhn, who is the one who put it out there, I believe, earlier this offseason that he had never seen, or it's been such a long time since he saw a Packers team as fast and like as athletic as this team. And the speed is a thing. There is zero doubt about it. I don't know. It's hard to quantify. It's hard to really put it into words, but yes, it is noticeable. They are young, and that does tend to lead to some spry legs from time to time, but pure speed is certainly there. And you don't have to look much further than Christian Watson going deep, and getting loose behind the defense to see that speed on display. You certainly saw it on Carrington's interception, Carrington Valentine, when he picked off Etling in the flat. Just a great jump and an explosion to the football. You talk about see ball, get ball. He knew right. He diagnosed it perfectly, and he hit it at just the right moment to take it. I mean, basically out of the path and what would have been a pick six. Explosiveness, speed, definitely on display. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're ready to be the greatest show on turf or anything, but yeah, there's certainly a noticeable uptick in that regard. Abdul, thanks for the super chat. Are Royce and Hansen on the roster bubble? I don't think quite yet, but they keep having rough outings in practice, and they most certainly will be. There's no doubt about it. But there's a long way to go. There's a long way to go, and there's only so many positions, so you are having to try and grab each day and make a statement and make an impression and try and put some good stuff on tape. You put a few rough days of tape together, and then the conversations begin. But I still think it's very, very early to start talking about roster bubbles. Now, who knows? I mean, you ask, and I say this, and then all of a sudden tomorrow we could wake up and they're both cut. I doubt that happens, but crazier shit has gone down. Chris, thanks for the super chat. Is it wrong to expect a better season this year? I'm more excited than recent years. Better season than what? That's the question. Everybody has their own expectation, right? If you're talking about a better season than last year, I think it's possible. I do think a number of things have to fall their way for that to happen, and guys have to step up. And certainly the defense has to be much more of a consistent factor throughout the season. And Jordan Love has to develop and improve throughout the year. But yeah, can it be a better season? Yeah, it's possible. I'm not penciling it in anytime soon, but uh, the possibility is there. And if that gets you excited, that's what you should roll with, 100%. I'm down with it. I was chatting with Pete Doherty on the sideline today, saying, we were talking about our expectations for the team, and I told Pete, I see so many people talking about what are so and so's numbers going to be, right? What's how many touchdowns is Christian Watson going to have, or how many yards and touchdowns is Jordan Love going to throw for? And so I get why it's of interest, and I understand why people talk about it. But none of that matters to me. I mean, hell, you could throw for a bunch of yards early in the season, and then all of a sudden, halfway through the year, the defenses start to figure you out, and then your numbers at the end of the year might look good, but the context tells you that, okay, well, defenses started to figure you out. I don't know, man. For me, it's just about growth and development this season. That to me is success. The wins and losses, yes, it'd be nice to be a wild card. It'd be nice to be back in the playoffs. But I tell you what, if they're in the playoff hunt in December, I think that's a pretty good year. Your first year starter, a lot of youth on offense coming together, hopefully at the right time. But no, it's not wrong to expect it. If that's what your expectation is, I'm down with it, man. Get after it. I hope they get after it for you. Chris, thanks for the super chat, man. I hope for the best, but our safeties concern me. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I do not understand that. I totally understand it. But as I wrote last night on She Said TV, they need, more than anything, guys who are assignment sure and sound tacklers. And we'll start to get the answers to that over the course of the next 3 weeks, right? None of these decisions are going to get made without preseason games being played. I would give these guys a chance. And I'm not saying that you're not. I totally get being nervous or like having misgivings about this safety group. Trust me. But there's also a lot of unknown there. There's also a scheme that they can fit into. There's coaching going on. I mean, you never know where guys are going to pop in the NFL. And I understand there's a lot of names, but not a lot of production and or history there that you can draw from and get excited about. But I would ask you to be patient. That's all. But again, I understand it. I understand the anxiety. Vex, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. How much do organizations prepare players to be able to say nothing while conducting interviews? I mean, it happens way before they get to the league. I mean, these guys now all get coached up before they go to the combine for both the interviews with the teams and also with the NFL media. These guys are way ahead of it now compared to like even 10 years ago as far as media training goes. But then, yes, they get to the NFL and they're certainly given like guidelines and maybe some talking points depending on what the team is going through. But for the most part, these guys are trained up. I mean, go watch college interviews. They're not much different. These players now live in an age where there's always a camera. There's always something filming you or looking at you or recording you. So they're kind of always in that mode, right? So I don't think it really changes that much in the league other than there's way more people watching, depending on where they went to school. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I wish we got a little bit more kind of a looser, more, conversational vibe from the players. And some guys you do, especially once they get comfortable and they're in the league for a while and their position is secure, then they may open up a little bit. But yeah, when you first get to the league, I understand it. The last thing you want to do is create controversy or say something dumb or say something that gets taken out of context because God knows we've seen that in the NFL, in the age of pro football talk. Surely you jest. So, again, I understand. I get why they are as buttoned up as they are. Joe, thanks for the super chat, man. A great pass rush is the secondary's best friend. Have you been reading my mind? Well stated. Javier, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for the super chat. The offseason, some talk about how crowded the safety room was. I believe so far 26 and 20 have been the ones all along since OTAs. You think that's good or a bad sign, or is it most likely too early to ask? It's probably a little too early to ask. I would remind you or let you know that Jonathan Owens did take some reps with the ones on Saturday. So there has been a little bit of mixing there. But yeah, it's way too early. As I wrote last night, They're gonna take this through the preseason games, like because you got to see these guys in action. You got to see them wrapping up and tackling and taking good angles and things like that. And you can see some of that in practice, but you're still not going to the ground. You're not tackling, and that's what you need these safeties to do. So, yeah, it's early. But that said, I think Ford, after a year in the defense, he had an up and down season last year. We all saw the splash plays with the interceptions. We also saw him out of position or missing tackles at times. But man, he made a nice play today when Joe Barry sent him on a blitz. Uh, I like his physicality, and I like that he goes 100 miles an hour when he's going for a ball carrier and trying to make a tackle. Like, there's nothing worse than a timid dude who just lets someone run by him, right? Like, if you're gonna make a mistake, make it 100 miles an hour. Like, and he does not care. He will go and get the ball and get the guy with the ball. Something to be said for it. And hopefully, like I said, a year in the system now, gets a little bit more comfortable. Now is starting to bank all these reps. Hopefully he can win a spot there. Eric, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Hola, Nags. Do you suspect Goody will continue his trend of finding good players from other teams' practice squads, waiver claims this season? I don't see why not. He's got a great pro personnel department behind him, and they have done phenomenal work in that regard. Yeah, Brian's the one who has to pull the trigger, no question, but they have done great work knowing the league. And that's something that doesn't get probably played up as much as it should when it comes to their ability, the Packers' specific ability to really know the rosters of all the other teams. And of course, every team does that. I'm not like saying that no other team is doing this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not suggesting that. But it's very apparent that in Green Bay, they are more than willing to pull the trigger on a guy that not a lot of people have heard of outside of football, right? Or outside of, like, in the fan base. Like, a lot of teams operate like whoever's a free agent or there's a name that everybody knows, blah, blah, blah. Well, we'll bring him in. And the Packers are out here, like, taking guys off of practice squads and turning them into something and developing them. It's just not a regular thing around the league. Again, they're not the only team that does it, but they do a good job of it, and that pro personnel department deserves a lot of credit for it, no doubt. Braden, thanks for the super chat, man. Who was the highest ceiling coming into the 2023 season, Keyshawn Nixon or Christian Watson? Oh, I love Keyshawn Nixon. Don't get this twisted, but it is 100% Christian Watson. No doubt. That man can wreck the league if he stays on the field. He can be a major problem to the point where I won't be surprised if teams start having to design entire defenses around him, and trying to limit his effect on a game from week to week. He could be that special. I'm not saying he's there. I'm not saying he's arrived, but that's his ceiling. It's up to him whether he gets there or not, but that's where he could be. Keyshawn Nixon, fire plug at returner, no question about it. Going to be, I think, a decent nickel corner. Who knows? They may use him on offense. We've already seen on Saturday they started doing some drill work with him there. But Christian Watson could be special. That's the difference. Vex, thanks for the super chat. Also, everyone should take care of their mental. That's probably the best thing I've heard all day. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well said, Vex. Quoting the great, and I mean great Marshawn Lynch. Absolutely. What else we got here, folks? Brandy's here. Hi, Brandy. How are you? Tyler, where is Corey? We need to discuss the epic punter competition we have going on. Corey is actually literally downstairs as we speak, but he is busy running his empire. I'm hoping Keyshawn will one day be Super Bowl MVP. That would be sweet. I'd be down with that. How about that? 2 returners as Super Bowl MVPs in the franchise history? I'm all about it. I'm all about it. It's like anything. Eric says, nice hat. Thank you very much. You can get it at the Cheesehead TV shop. You can either go down below this video on YouTube, but I see, Eric, that you are on Facebook. If you go to cheeseheadtv.com, go to the top of the page, you'll see a little link for shop. Go there and you'll find this hat and a lot of other stuff, a lot of really, really cool new merchandise. We just got up here in the last week or so. Tons of fun, ready for a new season. Thanks. I'm glad you like the hat. What else we got? Randy, what's up, man? Callum, how many preseason games is Love going to play? I would suspect all of them. I don't know if he'll play a lot in that last one, but um, he'll probably play a couple series in each. Would be my guess right now. Matt, of course, has not committed to anything yet, which I understand. But yeah, I would say probably I would expect him to play all three, and fewer and fewer as the preseason goes on as far as drives go. But yeah, I think there's little doubt he'll play a lot more than Rodgers has in the last few years. No question about it. Sounded like Dobbs got abused on his releases today. I hope that isn't an issue. I saw him win his fair share. He also, yeah, he did get beat up a few times. There's no doubt about it. But he also cut across Rasul's face once really nicely on an in cutter that gained some yardage. And there's going to be ups and downs. There's no doubt there was one play where Love had a terrible throw, tried to fit it in over the middle to Dobbs, and Quay Walker dropped what should have been an easy interception. Guys are going to have up and down times, man. It's still early. It's still first day of pads. Guys are working on stuff, and let's let these kids develop. They're still very, very young. Very, very young. Folk. Green Bay is fluid, as coach has been saying. I've noticed that's his go-to now, right? He did start that kind of last year, but now it's really taken hold as far as, well, what do you think is going to happen here with your rotation or whatever? And he's, well, it's really fluid. Like, fluid is the new watchword at the LaFleur pressers. I do not suggest having a drinking game on the word fluid because you'll be drunk by the end of the press conference. Don't do it, folks. Choose life. All right, everybody, I got to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out and talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack Go.